Yeah, so there we are. Hello, no sound. Dang it. I did it again. At least it was before the show started. So hello, everybody. We're very excited. Sorry about that false start. You got to see me, but you didn't get to hear me. But now you get to hear me. And this is our first live broadcast of our podcast, Deep Dive from the Hive. And we are super excited to be bringing this to you today. In the studio today, we have Mr. Frankie Hernandez. And that's right. Big claps for Frankie. In 2 days, on Friday at 8 p.m., we're going to have the Frankie Hernandez band, the whole band, playing on our stage here at the Hive. We'll be bringing that to you live, and we have a couple of tickets left for in-house. Not very many, just a couple left, so let us know if you're interested in that. But we've got the whole band here Friday at 8 p.m. Pacific time. Tune in. That's going to be a great show. But without further ado, we're going to start our live broadcast, very first one ever, of episode number 10 of Deep Dive from the Hive with Marv Ellis. So here we go. Behind the scenes. You guys got to see me make my first mistake. Hopefully that was the last one I'll make. All right, so live from the Hive, here we go.
Hello, fellow Earthlings, and welcome to Deep Dive from the Hive, where we discuss modern day musician life, answering the call to create, and what it takes to actually produce what you believe in. I'm your host, Marv Ellis, the captain of this submarine. It's a pleasure to be here with you today, so let's batten down the hatches and get to it. Let's go. Check, breaker, niner, niner, two, niner. Yes, he is I am him. Sitting here popping his sternum with a grin. Blessed to be here. Thank you for having me, Trevor. Joe, thanks for everything you do. Support, love, appreciate it. It's good to be back in-house. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning into the live stream. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share everything we're doing here. We're trying to take this thing up the mountain, get past the mountain lions. So with that mission in mind, we want to bring in the best talent. And right now, we have a freaking institution in the building of Southern Oregon. An infectious smile man, a band leader, a songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist, a worship leader.
Yeah.
The one and the only Frankie Hernandez is in the building. Frankie, thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure.
All right, let's get into this thing. You are a rite of passage for many instrumentalists in Southern Oregon because you're a prolific songwriter and performer. But we know a lot of people around here know who you are, but we don't. I moved here a few years ago. I don't know where you came from, man.
All right.
And what I want to know is, where did this guy who came to Southern Oregon to do these things come from? And I know where you're born, but I want you to tell us. And this is your camera, by the way, if you want to shout out to anybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, say hello to your fans. And
hey,
your friends.
Hi, Mom. Hi, wife.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, little boys who should be in school. If you're watching this right now, something's gone terribly wrong.
they just, they can learn more from you than their school.
Oh, amen.
Right?
Which is unfortunate.
From the father. Soul funk, reggae, rock, adventure man.
Yes, sir.
But from Austin.
From Austin. Born and raised in Austin, Texas. I was there first half of my life. And
wow.
It was amazing. Like, I always tell people, like, I was born in a small town, but I moved away from a big city, if you want to do the fact checking, you can figure out how old I am. But when I was born in Austin, I won't tell you.
They don't need to bring up age.
But when I was born, Austin's about 200,000 people big.
Wow.
And now it and the surrounding area is about 1.5 million.
It's the spot to be right now.
Yeah.
So a lot of entertainment LA people moved there recently.
Yeah. Well, they're starting. I guess about 20 years ago, the film industry started calling it the Third Coast because there's a lot of a lot of people. There was, clearly there's L.A., there's New York, but there started to be more and more media development out of Austin,
right?
Which makes a ton of sense because it has a rich history in technology. IBM, Texas Instruments were born out of their Dell computers.
Oh wow!
So Austin there was a company called Radian, and it was a hub for the digital movement.
Yeah.
So it makes a lot of sense that music and video production would take off there, because it's a naturally artistic city, which is why I've always been comfortable. Like whenever I would go on tours, I'd be comfortable in a town like Eugene.
Sister city of Austin.
Sister cities,
That's where I'm from. I'm from the sister city.
Oh yeah,
of your hometown.
Yeah, like when I first moved to passed through Eugene, I was like, it's part of the reason I live on the West Coast.
Yeah,
because
it resembles.
Oh, absolutely. It's a vibe. Actually, it still makes. I mean, it feels so much like Austin, like so much like home. People are very into beer, music.
Yeah. Can I ask you something though?
Surely.
How much do you think South by Southwest played a part in the growth and development, rapid growth and development of Austin? I mean, you have the biggest corporations in the world now going there, the biggest musicians in the world going there.
Oh.
All eyes are on South by Southwest. First of all, what was it like? How do you think that affected? Do you think that was a massive injection to the growth of the city?
It's certainly, yeah. Well, I think it's just like a barometer for what was happening in the city. We like now ACL is one of the coolest festivals you can go to,
which is Austin City.
The Austin City Limits, yeah. And so we were talking earlier. We said life in Austin pre-ACL.
Wow.
It was like South by Southwest is a total. It's the mercury, telling the temperature of Austin, because like I've lived here now on the West Coast for. I moved to LA in 2000, and I lived there for 5 years before I moved here.
Wow.
And so, there will be some periods of time sometimes before I go home, and after not going home for maybe 5-6 years, and then to go and see South by Southwest, like it grew from, like, it used to be like a bunch of indie bands, just like Austin through this festival to celebrate bands that were doing what the Hivve here is doing, celebrating people making moves.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden, then the labels start coming and saying, oh, well, you got to check out these bands, and these are more like the independent labels for the bigger labels, and then all of a sudden the big label bands started coming. Like I saw Cake right before they got signed. I saw Sublime right before they got signed.
You were a kid.
You were early 20s. Young, but before that, I was a kid, 15, 16.
That's still kid to me. 20-year-olds are kids.
It is. I didn't have to fake an ID to get in, after 21. But but before that, we had to sneak in, go to Liberty Lunch and check out Alejandro Escovedo, who's
that's massively inspiring.
Oh yeah, I saw Stevie Ray Vaughan when I was a little kid.
Oh my God, Austin City Limits, Stevie Ray Vaughan, or just in a bar? Like
no, he was playing on Auditorium Shores, where his statue is now, by the way. But I was mad because my parents made me sit and watch some old guy play guitar, and I wanted to play Frisbee with my friends. If I'd have only known.
You're a Frisbee golf guy.
Oh, totally. I mean, really? I'm from Austin. I think still it's the greatest Frisbee golf course per capita in the country.
I did not know that.
I could be wrong, but it's up there.
Fact. That's good stuff. So you're in Austin. The music's clearly going to inspire you through your developmental creative years.
Oh, absolutely.
Teenage years, like late teen. Were you playing guitar then?
No. So I grew
trumpet.
Yeah, I grew up on the trumpet, but music was everywhere. My next door neighbors, they had a bluegrass band. They had parties all the time. And actually, the guy Ken who owned the house, he worked in software. He ended up making a ton of money. But I always, and it wasn't until I was a teenager I was like, I know what that smell is. But I would smell it a lot as a little kid, and just riding your bike around town, you'd hear you'd hear country bands, rock bands, a lot of punk. Like I was raised on punk bands. Okay. Like the big boys, It was a good time to be a kid, you know. But
give me some influences.
Mostly, you know, big boys, and then I moved on to like some of the bigger punk bands, like Dead Kennedys, Dead Milkmen, Violent Femmes.
I am not a punk rock man, but I am aware.
Oh yeah, and then I moved into from that I got into the big the ska movement of the late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah.
You know, early Clash, early Police, early Steel Pulse was actually punky and ska before it got really reggae.
We were driving back 2 days ago, and we listened to Police.
Oh,
and
so good.
I have ignorantly just glazed over them until 2 days ago, where I deep dived on the Police, and I am completely blown away. Just the musicality.
Oh yeah.
Of just all those players. It's amazing what you can, if you're just so locked into a genre like I am, how much you can pass by and not pay attention to and not understand. And I feel like I'm getting an education on these bands are talking about right now. And I'm way cool. Past my whole time of like absorbing what I'm inspired by, you know?
Yeah. Well, being a hip hop guy, you can be inspired from all kinds of stuff.
True.
Because it's all relevant. If it's in time, you know, then it's sampleable. And a lot of that music was written like by people that knew how to compose music. Yeah. And so it's great that you hear it and you're like, okay, this is still relevant because it's based on melody.
I love hip hop because it does encompass all genres.
Oh, absolutely.
And that gives me that world vibe that sustains my my desire.
No, yeah, and hip hop has come in and given its own flavor to things. What I've seen the biggest influence of hip hop, it's given this new interactiveness that the music doesn't always have. It, you know, just hip hop, the nature of it is I, me, you, we.
Yeah.
You know, and like put your hands into the air. You know, do this. Let's do this thing together.
Yeah.
You know, so and it makes sense that you would go through and go through a catalog of music and say, hey, we've done this together as a people. Mm-hmm. You know, and it makes something older relevant again.
Yeah.
You know, because you know, I'm curious to see how you would incorporate the Police because
the kick on the 2 and the 4 until I want to pick the beat up, then the snare goes back to the 2 and 4 and the kick goes back to the 1 and the 3. Mm-hmm. That's what I learned in the car 2 days ago. I was like, oh my God, you have 120 beats a minute, but if you put the 2 and the 4 and the kick, then it's just like more spacious and punk music, reggae music.
A lot of that whole era, you know, and that pointed me to when I first heard Sublime for the first time. I was like,
yeah,
it's punky, it's reggae,
it's got all the things.
Oh yeah, I don't think I would ever have sung if I didn't hear Bradley Knowles' voice.
And you describe your sound as if Sublime and Cake had a baby and was raised by Santana. Right? Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Where's that come from? Cake? You said you saw Cake when you were.
Oh yeah, I saw Cake. I was like, huh. And at that time I wasn't playing trumpet. I went to the University of Texas because I wanted to study with that trumpet professor.
Longhorn.
Oh, burn orange to the core.
Yeah.
I met this lady from Texas.
Vince Young.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I told her, I was like, yeah, I miss Texas. I miss wearing burnt orange on Saturdays. And she's like, are you a brick red kind of lady? Yeah, she's Aggie. That's
Red River Shootout.
Oh yeah. Oh totally.
So, when did you bring your trumpet into it?
I think once I finally started to find my own voice, I think that's why I play the kind of music that I do. Is you know, trumpet isn't always relevant in every music. You know, which is frustrating. I mean, you know, being a rapper, people always they love you and they're like, "Oh, dude, you should come jam a track with us." You know, if you see your friends playing live, and there's certain kind of things that support certain kind of things. Yeah. And so I figured out a way to write, number one, for my voice so that I could sing and the powerful part of it. And that's an art form in itself. You know, there's a lot of people that can sing or that can write, you know, and finding that marriage of how to write for your voice is a thing. But then also, how do I write where the trumpet is relevant to the music.
Yeah, I'm a huge Louis Armstrong fan, so
Oh,
anytime a trumpet pops out, I'm like, let's go. When you popped out your trumpet, I had to move to the back of the room because you play loud.
I've heard this.
Right, Joe? It's like you were born with the trumpet, almost. Like your body just bam, esophagus power.
It's part of the Louis when they first started recording, like they had this single mic sort of environment to record, and they'd put the band around the microphone, and Louis would be in the hallway to make it sound right.
Wow.
And that was the hallmark of his playing, because they came up playing on the riverboats. You know, that was a good gig you could have, and people would come and follow the boat because they could hear this trumpet. And they couldn't hear anything else, but they could hear Louis.
Is he your favorite trumpet player?
No.
Who's your favorite?
Lee Morgan.
Lee Morgan. Let me write this down. I need to check out Lee Morgan.
Yeah, he has an album called Candy. That he just such a sweet fat sound.
Morgan. Candy. Yeah. Can we pull up a picture of Lee Morgan, Trevor? Yeah. Thank you.
But they were I think one year Rolling Stone did one of those most influential bands of rock and roll, and I think Louis Armstrong's Hot 5 was number 1.
He influenced the shit out of me.
Well, he's the first one to take you know, the bass drum, the hi-hat guy, and the snare guy, put him behind the trap kit, you know, and then rather than having this big band, there was Louis Armstrong's Hot 5, and that's the beginning of the rock and roll format. You got the guy on the kit, the guy on the bass. You know, and the rhythm instrument was the harmonic instrument was the piano, and then a couple horn players, and that he was the bridge between big bands and what is now the rock and roll set.
Lee Morgan, album's called Candy. I also took some singing styles from Louis, the way he kind of sings slightly behind the beat, like it's gonna be a good day. Like that behind the beat. And I try to incorporate it into my rapping, to be honest with you.
That is
because
cool.
I realize if I'm saying a word right at the snare or hi-hat, or snare kick, it might get lost. So if I incorporate Louis Armstrong's singing style into my rap style, then my word will pop behind the kit.
That's pretty brilliant. Yeah.
It's just Louis. It's not brilliant. It's just I'm just copying him, like it's stealing like an artist.
Well, I think properly in a band, everyone should be in a competition to be the furthest behind the beat. You know, because like the kick, like the funkiest stuff almost has like a nervous kick, and the snare is about as late as it can be.
Yeah,
you know, like that we hear something that's you're like, but.
Yeah, it just instantly I start blah blah.
It's the rhythmic tension that makes your body go, oh, I don't know what to listen to.
What's going to happen when it's it's just like organic. I like that shit. That's what gets me is when stuff, you can tell when a drummer's like studied a lot.
Sure.
But hasn't experienced a lot.
Right.
And then you know when a drummer's experienced a lot but hasn't studied a lot.
No. Oh, yeah. There's
Which
a lot
one would
of
you
those.
prefer?
Oh man,
the super studious drummer or the one that's just taught themselves? And
I think I'm partial to the ones with some learning.
Yeah,
because someone that understands like the nervousness of the foot, the relaxedness of the snare, the focusedness of the snare.
Right.
But then you have to have that metronomic to draw out and point to the tension.
You've had so many bands, you know. There you are.
Hey.
And there we are. And there's Lee Morgan. I'm going to listen to him immediately. Thank you.
Yeah.
You like Anderson .Paak?
What's that?
Anderson .Paak.
I don't know Anderson .Paak.
Best rapping drummer on planet Earth.
I can't wait. See,
I'll check out Lee Morgan if you check out Anderson .Paak.
I will absolutely check that out. I love drummers.
Okay, and let's go to this thing, because to be a singer-songwriter prolific and withstand the test of time, you have to be able to keep a band together.
Oh, amen.
I've had many variations of my bands.
Sure.
How about you?
I have had a ton. Well, it's one of those things that is I think, being a career band leader is that the best way to keep a band together is to keep work coming in.
Yep.
I love music with all my heart. Like it's what I do. I would do it for nothing, but it's pretty much what I only want to do. So I make it happen.
You've done a lot of benefits too. Charitable stuff.
Oh, it's part
of philanthropy.
Musical.
You're a philanthropist.
Yes, I am.
But you're not just like locally philanthropist. You've had your music featured on The Real World.
Yeah.
On Ink Master. No, Ink.
LA Ink.
LA Ink. Mm-hmm. Hotel Hell. You were playing.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. You have your people. You're like, I can't help it. I love me some Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah, who doesn't?
And so I was walking by. Him.
Some people don't.
Well, that's part of the draw.
Yeah.
Some people don't like him. That makes me like him more.
Love to hate him.
And then walking by him, I'm like, okay, should I not look him eye? Should I talk to him? And I'm like, I just gave him the guy nod. He's a guy. I figured, what could happen?
Yeah.
Says, that was brilliant. I just loved the singing and the saxophone.
He said that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
He said I was brilliant.
You just got Ramsey'd.
Yeah, I thought for a minute, maybe he's gonna kiss me on the cheek and I'll take it, because it's Gordon Ramsay,
Does he kiss people?
I don't know. I thought he would. He was very excited. And I didn't even care that he called it his saxophone and not a trumpet. I'm like, you know what? It's cool. He said I was brilliant.
What myth was busted when your song was on the show?
I've never looked it up. I just saw it on my BMI. I just saw it on my BMI royalty sheet. And
no shit.
Yeah.
I wonder what myth they busted.
I should look it up. I think it was from 2017 2.
You got like 25 cents.
That was my favorite quarter I ever got.
Like I said earlier, Rite of Passage, you did a lot of work. Well, you did a lot of work at Jackson Creek Pizza.
Oh,
a lot of the people that we've had on our podcast have brought you up.
Yeah.
You, Rabbit, some of the more consistently brought up people.
Oh, wow.
Alcyon talked about, those times. Tell us about those times. What was happening? Because it feels like you're in Austin, LA 5 years. Mm-hmm. Then you come up around the time reggae starts to pop the fuck off here.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, I think, after living here, now I can see it in a better context, because when I first got here, I had no idea. I had not, I had no idea that we had the cannabis industry being born. And it was about, couple years before I noticed that the people that were paying me to come out and play private parties had a pretty intense entry gate, and if you drove into the wrong property, you
got shotgunned.
I heard shots. But when I moved here, I was separated. My wife at the time moved to Ashland with my daughter, who's now going to be 18 on Sunday. And
her name is Flame.
Flame, yeah.
You call her?
I call her Ariel because
she's crazy.
Because daddy is slow to call her what she wants to be
Flame.
called. But I moved here because she was here, and I thought I'd never work for money again, because I was finally in a point where I was with a producer friend of mine. I was writing for people with demo deals at Columbia and Hollywood Records.
Okay.
I was singing for a commercial house. Like anything that I could do, I learned how to do for money.
Industry stuff.
It's
not industry-y out here.
No.
It's like artistry out here.
Which is why I am where I am. Like if I'd have stayed there, you would have never have heard of me, and I would have just made money playing music, which was fine, But when I got here, people respect your artistry. If you believe what you're saying, people will listen to you. And so what I figured out about how reggae was impacted here is because we have so many generations of cannabis growers who have been listening to reggae and playing their own reggae since the beginning of it. So we have people here people you probably never heard of that have been
Tell me their names.
Well, like I Will and all his band. Like
I will.
He's basically the unofficial mayor of Williams.
Okay. Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I will. Shout out to I will.
I Will.
Big up I will. What about Ross Cricket?
Ross Cricket was in the stable for
I'm getting my history. I'm learning.
We played together.
I've been talking to people.
10 years on and off. Most recently has
10
been
years
off.
with Ross Cricket?
Yeah.
Okay, so I named somebody good.
Yeah. Oh, there's the ones, the Cricket was with me on and off 10 years. Chad is playing with me now the past couple years. He founded the band with me in 2005.
Okay.
Was in for 3 years, had a baby, and poured himself into being a family man, and missed the music. Now he's playing with Alcyon and playing with me. And then, there, who else is in there right now? Oh, Max is playing with me.
Okay.
And he did the job a couple years. I had a weird thought last night, and I didn't want to say it, and I didn't really want to talk about it because I'm not trying to I'm really not trying to compare myself to Jesus, but in being well, I mean, we all have the Holy Spirit in us.
Go on.
So being someone who's led worship, like you don't have to have ever sat in the same church to know the same body of music, right? So you could get together a group of believers from anywhere, and they know the songs, right?
God is an awesome God.
And people, they would jump right in.
Yeah.
And so Eric was busy, and Eric has also been playing with me on and off for about 13 years.
Okay.
So Chad and Max had never played together before, but they were brothers in my music. Like there's so many people that have done the job through the time that I can pull certain people that are available, because that's the thing is, like I was saying, an older musician told me that at a certain point, the people you're surrounded by are going to be in demand, and that shouldn't be offensive, because you want to be surrounded by people that are excellent at their craft.
I'm so glad you learned that.
It means that we share Skylar.
We share the one and only Skylar,
Mr. Squiggly.
Squiggles, Schemer. We call him Schemer. Amazing guitar player, and he's in your band as well.
Yes,
and
sir.
I cannot thank you enough for
not
being a dick about like, hey, we need him for this gig. You're like, cool, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't like to wave it around. Like there's a roster of people that can do the job.
Yeah.
I mean, but I like to have the ones that get the first call.
Yeah. You got your slots of like, if I had to pick.
Yeah.
Priority 1 band, Alpha Beta Quadrant Beta SEAL Team 5 is
I won't say who my ultimate favorite band is.
Don't do it.
But I will. Skylar is my favorite guitar player.
He's like Bill Murray playing guitar.
Yeah.
You're looking at him. You're like, what are you thinking, dude? He's like, everything's cool. What? What's up? Just thinking.
Everything's cool.
Love him.
No, he's so great.
He's a rock.
Yeah.
We went down to L.A.
I can't wait to hear more of the stories.
Very, very scary things, like from a small town Eugene kid like me. And I suddenly realized that my solid rock was Skylar. He was the guy that was just, let's do this.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, it was so.
Had you been down there before?
Not like that. I hadn't been really in the industry thing. And
okay.
It was just a lot to absorb all of a sudden, like bam.
Well, you guys were in it thick.
I would say very thick.
Yeah.
But it's good to be here and to hear how, you escaped that and you were able to do your thing. And
so grateful.
Have you always, and well, a couple things. One, Heart Hope Music.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That
I didn't expect that when I looked that up.
Well, it just came up. So like I said, I've been a worship leader around here on and off, probably about 10 years now.
How long have you been a man of God?
Well, since birth. We're all born with it in us.
Okay.
But I was raised Catholic. Yeah, right.
My mom's Catholic.
And then, right around, and I was like priest-tracked from about the time I was 8 to 14. Mostly, they said, oh, he's such a beautiful prayer. But I think I was just a smart kid and can memorize stuff.
What does that mean? Priest tracked? They want you to be
like
a priest?
I did extra classes, yeah, and they thought I would be a good candidate because when I was 8, like I believed with all my heart that if people loved God, the world would be a better place. Like,
I mean, if everybody followed the rules of that book, it would be a much better place.
Amen. Well, I think some of the problem is that the book gets treated like a manual to people. It's like, oh, well, this is for ethics. When you're bad, you need to read this. If you want to be good, you need to read this. And it's a beautiful 66 chapter book that spanned 3,000 years to create. It's every style of writing that there is. It's poetry, it's prose, it's history, it's action, it's drama. It's some of it's comedy. It's all of that. For anything else, it's an amazing literature study.
And you turned all this work towards this ship. You're steering towards Christian music.
Some of it, like I
new album, Christian album.
Yeah, I do have an album coming out. The first single is going to drop on May 7th, and then the rest of the album will drop on May 28th.
Okay.
And I think after that, and then we'll probably drop another single from it. But I think after, because our industry is changing so much
massively.
So I think it may be the last actual album that I make for a while, and I think starting probably late summer, early fall, I'm just going to move into releasing a single every couple of months.
It's all about the algorithms now.
Yeah,
single.
Which oh hey,
there's your worship party album.
I'm in the middle of a Kickstarter campaign right now.
Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. You can tune in to his Kickstarter. What's the address on that, Trev?
We'll post it.
Yeah,
awesome. We're posting it. We have people live right now. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, if you're enjoying this conversation, hit like. Yeah. Particularly if you're on YouTube, because that'll boost the algorithm and make it possible for the show to show up while people are watching right now. I'm sorry.
Do you record in your home?
Not yet, but I will, because that's part of the campaign is I'm building a studio at my house.
Awesome. Yeah. Have you talked to Joe Dinkowitz of Middle Rogue Audio about your new studio yet?
I have not, but
seems like a logical choice.
It is. He is a logical choice.
That's the button, Trevor. We need a button that's like, it's the most logical, like Spock. That seems logical.
That's a great one. Write it down,
please.
Yeah, okay. Like I know who, when all of my stuff got stolen out of my garage.
Yeah.
When I lived in the ghetto in downtown Medford, there was one phone call that I made to buy new gear, and it was to Mr. Joe Dinkowitz.
Can we just big up Joe Dinkowitz right now? Because I mean, this guy is like changing lives in Southern Oregon. We love Joe Dinkowitz. He's every sound. I mean, when Joe's on the boards, then
I don't have to worry.
Right?
Yeah. Every time I've seen him, I'm like, okay, we're cool.
We're good.
We're good.
I don't know the sound might be. Oh no, Joe's here.
He's like the wolf of the sound men.
You're sending the wolf.
Yeah.
That's all you had to say. Shit. Yeah, he comes in. What do we got? I need coffee. I need it black. Go buy. I'm an oak man. Are you an oak man? Joe's an oak man.
He's an oak man. I believe it.
Sorry, I got sidetracked.
We do.
But okay. Kickstarter. Boom. COVID. You got COVID.
I did.
December?
No, right when everything shut down here in Oregon for us.
March.
So I think it was the weekend. I had the 14th. Yeah, March 14th last year was the last day that I played 2 gigs in a day.
Okay.
And actually, we had come from playing down in California. Where were we? Past Etna. It's down there in Northern California.
You played I think I remember.
It was because you guys just came back from LA, I think.
No, we played at least, Etna. We did. Yes.
Yeah. And that's when Skylar told me a couple weeks later. I think you got it from me.
What? Thank God.
No, I think you got it from me.
Oh yeah. Oh no, he didn't. He was
super sick.
We didn't get COVID.
He did. He thinks he did.
As much as I'd like to just get to the bottom of the COVID strain and how it affects, what I want to know is, I know we don't have it now.
Yeah.
Things seem to be getting better. Are you going to get the vaccine?
I don't talk politics.
Cool.
I mean, I don't know if they make us,
Yeah.
then I will. Like, and to me, like saying, if they say, like, I won't choose to just like, oh, I think this is a great idea, I'm going to go out and get it. But I'm not a dissenter to the point where, you know, if they say, well, you need it to get on a plane, well, then I will get it because my mom lives in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, you got to go visit mom.
And well, you know, she's no spring chicken. So
What everybody that's tuned in live right now wants to know is, when you do go home to Austin, what's mom cooking for you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, I do the cooking now.
Oh, you're the chef.
Oh yeah, she's over it. I think she eats all her meals out. You know, she's a well-to-do woman. She's put her time in. She'll cook fideo for my sister.
Fideo,
because my sister will ask for it.
What is fideo?
It's like rice noodle. You know, it's good. It's like Mexican chicken spaghetti.
Mexican spaghetti.
Yeah,
It
it's
sounds delicious. Now, here's the part of the show where lunchtime is now, and we're going to start talking about food. You know, when you're in a conversation with people, like a group, and you're talking about all this shit, and then all of a sudden everybody starts talking about food, and you realize everybody's starving.
Around 11:30, an entire trim crew will only talk around food.
Especially in trim circles. Like, yo, man, they make have you ever had this taco? Oh my God, this cart is
this
fire.
truck over in
fire.
Phoenix.
Yeah. And then suddenly the trim leader's like, food time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. They're talking about food. But what did you learn from the lockdown? What did you pull out of it? What lemonade did you squeeze out of those lemons?
The number one was the opportunity to get to tell my boys. Like I said, Ariel's going to be 18 here. Most of what I had to have to teach her, I've taught her. You know, I mean, there's going to be nuances of adulting, you know, that I get to impart. But, you know, my boys are 5 and 7.
To 3.
Yeah. Wow. And
what are the names? You can say hi to them. Boom, live.
So hey, Mateo, and he's my little one. He's 5, and Mason's my biggest boy, and he's 7. And you know, there's Flame right over here. Flame.
She's very polite. Look me in the eye.
Yeah.
Very well spoken.
She's cool.
You raised her right.
I wish I could take all the credit.
But you could take half.
Again, I definitely get half.
Yeah.
The good half, I think. You know, she's smart and creative and funny. Yeah, just a joy. Like, the best thing that ever happened to me was becoming a dad.
Really?
Oh, by far.
Everybody tells me this.
It's true. And I always thought, you know what, you know, when her mom was pregnant and people say that, because when you're about to be a dad is when they tell you that the most. Yeah. And
like, don't worry, it's going to be amazing.
And I thought, I'm going to be that one dad that doesn't get it. And just, it's just biology.
Yeah.
You know, the bonding pheromones, you're like,
baby terps.
Yeah.
Baby terps. Baby terps. I've heard about baby terps.
I've never heard of that. That's perfect. That's a perfect way to say it. Baby terps. And I forgot what we were talking about, kids.
Baby terps. You know what baby terps are?
Baby terps.
Can you pull up this studies on baby terpenes and post them on the screen? We can discuss how baby smells actually intoxicate the smeller to want to care and tend for them. That's it.
Yeah,
okay.
True.
I'm
story.
not the scientist here telling you this, but I know this is a fact.
It is. Baby terps, bonding pheromones, whatever you want to call it.
So you got 3 children.
Yes.
The terps are real.
It's a real
Fatherly
thing.
love is real.
It is. Oh, I remember now. So what I did, you know, is I got a chance, you know, a real chance that through COVID and also through the fire, is that when it's going down, who was there? When the world shut down, you know, and you couldn't go anywhere and you couldn't do anything, who was there? Who was in our house? You, your brother, your sister, and me. You know, when the fires raged and people were being evacuated and you couldn't move, who was in the house? You, your brother, your sister, and me. And it was a very real chance to say, hey, like, it was a chance to point at the value and the importance of family,
of the nucleus,
in a visceral way. Like, it's one of those things, like, you can conceptualize and intellectualize like how important that is, but until you see it in action, you know, and they got to learn this at, you know, a tiny age. Like, it's going to be in their spinal cord, I hope that they be, you know, the direction, the purpose is that they grow up and be amazing men that can guide and be a rock for their families, you know?
Like that.
And so they got to see that firsthand.
Wow.
And so when everything shut down, I got it, you know, and there was, you know, all we were told about how it was killing people. And at that time, I mean, I was already starting to do, I got it the week after everything shut down, you know, so I had started doing, I think the first thing I did was a kids concert, you know, live Facebook.
Right.
And I started to do these little theme concerts, you know, like I did a Sublime day, a Bob Marley day, a Spanish songs day. And I did 33 weeks. And this is part of what forged the worship identity, is because I did 33 weeks of every Sunday at 5 o'clock, live at 5, I would do a worship set and prayers for peace.
So you used your music, all your studies, your training to try to bring peace to other people.
Yeah, because people were lonely, and we had so much traction. You know, I remember. Do you remember?
Big ups to. I'm just, before you tell me, but I'm just saying that's what you did.
That makes it sound very important.
I mean, that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So, respect.
Okay, I'll take that one in.
That's legit. Like most people, I was wondering what would happen. People bitched.
Mm-hmm.
Some people took it as an opportunity. Some people remembered that there is no word for tragedy in Japanese. It's only opportunity.
Mm.
So I was trying to remember that. Like, what can I do now with this? The world's shut down. What can I do? I get a chance to study, center, cook better food, grow my own food.
I have cooked a lot of food.
Build a chicken coop.
Cool.
Yeah. Have you developed the menu at your house? Like, this is fire. We put this on the menu.
Oh yeah, we've tried a lot of new things.
Like,
yeah.
What was the thing your mom made? Did you make that?
Fideo. I haven't made fideo, but I really perfected turning rump roast into dope beef stew.
It sounds like a song.
I used to
Flame. Is your dad a good cook? Yes. All right. Verified.
It's true.
I love cooking, man.
I do love to cook.
You got your knife rack, your knives, and
oh yes.
Like, do not wash my knives. We hand wash our knives.
Oh yeah, we hand wash our knives.
Do not throw those in the dishwasher.
Yeah, this is true. Knives and lids.
You ever go to that cooking store down here?
No.
The kitchen spot in Grants Pass? It's amazing.
Okay.
If you're a chef,
I'll have to go see if there's something I need to pick up.
Careful, there'll be things you need to pick up.
Oh, okay. We do things.
All the things are there. So COVID, you're cooking. You're doing 33 straight days.
No,
weeks?
Sundays, yeah, weeks.
And
actually, I'm going back. I did 3 of my lives, with COVID. One of them not knowing that I had it.
Oh,
yeah.
Dude.
And it was one of the things people were so scared when I would talk about it. You know, I almost thought that I was having to, or people were reacting like I was telling them I was terminal. They're like, oh.
Well, there's a chance.
Is there?
There was, yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, for a certain demographic, like, yeah, clearly.
There's a chance that it could be terminal for somebody that used contact that's, you know, I have, like my parents, they could die. They caught it. So it's terminal. It's not terminal directly, but it's terminal.
But how it works in the body.
Through relationship to, like, you know, if you met up, like, I mean, look, dude, I did parties. 8 people got COVID at one of these parties we did.
Ooh. And
I missed going to film a video for High Step. I missed my dad's birthday. And I missed 3. I just didn't want to go around
just being safe.
Yeah, because I don't want to kill my dad.
Oh, amen.
He's not.
Amen.
So in that sense, it's terminal.
Right.
Logically, it's terminal. But to you and I, we're kind of healthy, strapping young men who witnessed Austin before Austin City Limits.
Oh, yes, we did.
But we're still healthy.
Sure.
We cook and we eat good and we're happy and we get vitamin D, so we're in it.
Yeah.
We'll be all right. But it can be terminal, and that's the scary part, man. I mean, honestly, straight up, that's what's fucked up, is that that you could be good, but you'll fuck them up.
Yeah.
And you love them.
Well, and it's just it's really hard to say, like, how it's carried. You know, so like what amount of quarantining is safe? Like, what's the best thing I can do as someone who is out and about in the community? You know, like I observe everything, you know, that there is, because it's, you know, it's foolhardy not to respect the restrictions.
Yeah.
You know, but if I was going to visit people at risk, you know, how would I know that I was safe for them?
I feel that. So through the quarantine and everything, tell me what came out of that.
This album,
this flow, this fire.
Yeah, this
worship album.
The worship album. I was leading worship at this little church, and you know, it didn't seem like enough. Like I wanted to just be to just share hope, because it just seemed like there was so much fear. You know, people like it was easy to escalate your anxieties.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to reach out and say, hey man, what's happening on the inside?
Yeah.
You know, like where are you spiritually? Because I feel like in people with a healthy spirituality also have a round view of actual health, because it's not like you can go and work out and be like, everything's cool. Like, well, what are you eating?
Yeah.
You know, and then, okay, well, you're working out good. You've got your eating good. Well, how are your finances?
Yeah.
You know,
it never ends.
It never ends. There's spiritual health, relational health. Are you actually like kind to people?
Yeah.
You know, so it was nice to be reminded of all of that, because there was nothing to do but, you know, ground in with the family. Like relational health is good. We're eating good. We're out there. Like I said, I live downtown. We rode our bikes every day. It was, that part was kind of amazing, having a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old ride 4 miles on their bike. Like they burned through their training wheels. I had to buy new training wheels. Yeah, I had to buy new training wheels. It's so cool.
That's super cool.
And at the same time, you know, like we're going from our house in downtown, you know, to Bear Creek Park and back. And it was sad and scary to watch the tents just pop up more and more along the greenway.
Yeah. And
just realizing, like, well, watching a problem that there's, you know, that's hard to have a sane and calm conversation about what's the better way.
Yeah, Alcyon, one, you know, when we were doing our podcast, he wanted to touch on that too.
Yeah.
He saw, you know, all the tents, the homelessness, you know, the problems he's seen. We were talking about the evolution of Oregon that's happening so exponentially fast right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. It's like being in Austin.
What are you seeing coming from Austin to LA to here? What are you seeing and changing? What do you see changing in the Oregon scene?
I think we're going to see a lot of the same cultural rises like that I've seen in Austin, and partly, you know, because we have such a strong cannabis community and a strong wine community, like that brings artists. You know, we have the Shakespeare Festival. Like we live in a very Dutch Brothers. We live in a naturally like artistic and entrepreneurial, because entrepreneurship is also part of creativity.
Yeah.
You know, I think as a culture, we're learning how to create our own work.
Yeah.
You know, and that's also, I think, part of what COVID is showing. Like, okay, well, it's actually more readily available to telecommute. It's actually more readily available to take a passion and turn it into a business.
Right.
You know, and
okay. I want to bring this up because when I first moved here with Emily, she took me out to a show, and you were playing.
Oh,
at the Cedarwood.
The Cedarwood. And
it was my first bar show.
Yeah.
Here, and I was like, okay. Sat in the back. Skylar was playing with you.
Yeah.
Nick Kirby.
Love Nick.
I think Maddie Armas was on kit.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure. And you were there. That's when I felt the full wrath and power of your trumpet. I was
in a small room that would seem exceedingly loud.
I was like, whoa, shit.
Low ceilings all made of wood.
Why does he have a microphone on that
but
thing?
I don't use it in a little room like that.
The best part of the night was we're watching the show, and all of a sudden, this girl stole this girl's purse, and a giant brawl broke out. And I looked, I was like, watching the brawl, and I'm like, whoop, looked at you. I was like, what's he gonna do? And you just kicked into this bar fight music, and you just played along to the whole thing. I was like, this, yeah.
You gotta go. If
You gave him the music.
If you see a fight, you gotta go into Eye of the Tiger.
Now you literally do that at shows.
Absolutely.
There's a bar fight. You're like, cut it.
Yeah.
Eye of the Tiger. 3, 2, 1. You do that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Legend.
And you know, 15 years of the Frankie Hernandez band as a band leader, like we've played it 3 times. That's pretty good. I think
that's not bad.
Considering the past few years, the last couple excluded, of course, played 100 to 150 shows a year.
Yeah, you work hard, man.
Yes, sir.
You're one of the hardest working musicians here. I lived in Portland. Tony Smiley is the hardest working musician in Portland.
Okay.
You know who Tony Smiley is?
I've heard of him.
Man, 5 shows a week, 1-man band, looping everything.
Oh, wow.
Every week, every month, all year. Before,
Sure.
that's his regimen.
Yeah.
But because he's the solo guy, so he can do he doesn't have to organize the band. But the Acoustic Minds, they work hard,
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
I love them.
But you are that person here. You are constantly playing, constantly gigging. You're pushing the music. When you play live, you play, like dance, soulful, funky music to get the booty moving, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really excited about these songs that you're going to play for us here in a second. I think it might be time to do that. Or do you want to field some questions? What do you think? We're live.
We're live.
Because this kind of goes in, because like you're playing this banging music that keeps it moving. And personally, I play as much upbeat stuff because I want people to vibe.
Sure.
But there's songs that you don't get to play because they're not really fitting into that set.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So we're going to get into a couple of those songs in studio in a second.
Yes.
Right? But we're not going to give away the show.
Absolutely.
On Friday, which will be streaming when, Trevor? 8 p.m. Live at the Hive. Frankie Hernandez Band.
Pacific Standard Time. Or daylight, whatever it is. We're on the West Coast.
West Coast style, 8 p.m. He's throwing down. It's going to, I don't know if you've seen or tuned in, but you can see all the past shows we've had. Every show gets better and better and better.
They're so good.
They're getting good, right?
Yeah, they're really good.
As far as live streams, we got Joe Dinkowitz on sound. He's slaying it.
He does.
I said slaying it.
Slaying.
4 syllables to slaying for him.
You need more for him.
And then Trevor's just crab scratching the live camera switches. And we got Favela, Daniel Lorian in house helping. Alan's in house helping. We're starting to have small groups of people, so you'll get that live feel.
So good.
Just wait, bro. Just wait till you hear it with the in the room. It's awesome. Do we have anybody who has any questions out there? This is a live stream. This is your chance. Now I'm assuming that they're going
to come in here in just a second.
Okay.
Take him on his trip to Florida.
All right, yeah, let's do that. We're going to go on a little trip. I have a fun thing that I like to talk about. It's a time machine, geometric time machine.
Okay.
And I picked geometric because when I was growing up, that was like the most fuel efficient car, but it was also the smallest car. And as in life, anything that's worth it, what's the worth without work, right?
Sure.
So for this fantasy question, you have to earn it.
Okay.
And the way you earn it is you have to hop in a Geo Metro and drive from here all the way across the country to the tip of Florida.
Okay.
But in Florida, 3,000, how many, like 3,500 miles away, right?
Yeah, it's good distance.
That's work.
Mm-hmm.
You get to pick any musician, all time, ever, dead or alive, opener, main support, headliner, small, mid-sized venue, great sound, Joe's there. You're anybody you want. I'm talking fucking Beethoven could open for Sublime, or you could have Lee Morgan open, or Jack Johnson could be the opener singing with Ella, whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's kind of out of the, I'm not trying to like hit you with the question you're not prepared for, but who would you pick to perform this amazing once in a lifetime show? I want to know who you would drive 3,500 miles to see.
I would drive 3,500 miles for a handful, because there's just ones that I wish that I would have had a chance to see.
That's what I want to hear. Who do you wish you could have seen live? And then if they were all in one show, like Magic Time Machine, Geometric Time Machine.
I think it would have to be. I would love to see Fishbone in their prime.
Boom.
Open the show.
Yeah.
And then Bob Marley. It just kills to think to never have seen a Bob Marley show.
I know, man.
Like as I had the first time I went down to Earth Dance, I just saw all the Bob Marley flags and everything, and I just tried to think, what would this world be like if we never had Bob Marley? And then the headliner would be Zeppelin.
Okay.
Like the Zepp in their prime. Like,
so your show is who's first?
Fishbone.
Fishbone, Bob Marley, Led Zeppelin.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a bad show.
That's a cool show. That's good. If I hadn't never seen Sublime. Yeah.
But you can't.
I've seen Sublime.
I don't think that you trade Zeppelin for a Sublime.
No, I'm sorry.
In their prime too.
Yeah.
It's not like when they're like reunited years later.
No, I saw Page and Plant. I'm like, yeah. And then what was the thing that Robert Plant was in when he came to the Brit? And that was his new band. It's kind of like folk, like Middle Eastern folk type of thing. And it was. I mean, he still got it. Like, you can't take your eyes off him. Yeah. Like he has the front man thing, and you're like, yeah, okay.
He's like glowing in colors while he plays.
Like, I don't know. I don't like this guy, but I can't take my eyes off him.
Yeah.
But I do like him. Yeah,
I asked a lot of people that question.
We got
Marley.
We got a question here. Frankie, what's the best way for local musicians and other artists to find others to collaborate with?
Great
Jeremy
question.
Aycock.
Well, being as how we changed this valley with an open mic, I'm going to say an open mic.
That's the advice I give everybody. Jeremy, every city I've ever been to, the way you link up with local musicians and artists.
Oh, so cool. Yeah.
That's the way, is open mics. Go to the open mic, do a little song. Somebody else, that's where people go. That's the watering hole.
That's the thing is even if you're an instrumentalist, you see the people who are motivated to go and enough to go and take, like, I don't know if this is polished. I don't know if this is good.
Yeah.
I don't know if people like it. I'm still going to go and do it.
Yeah.
And you know what? You might like it. You might be the ones that have, dude, I want to play bass with that guy, or whatever it is that you offer people. Like that's a place to at least go start a conversation. It's like, hey, do you jam with anybody? Who else do you play with?
Go to shows too, right? Like,
and absolutely.
How many times at shows there's been like, I got like, yo man, I really liked your set. I play baritone saxophone. I would love to sit in with you sometime. And then you get him up for a solo, and then it's like, we got a horn section now.
Yeah.
Because I murk the trumpet. Your trumpet is like the hammer of Thor.
Oh yeah.
It's like one of those weapons made in a like a place far away where this powered by the core of a binary star that's imploding on itself, and the guy from Lord of the Rings is making. But he's a giant, and he's making your trumpet. Yeah, it's that powerful of a trumpet.
Well, trumpet is it's an ancient instrument.
Yeah,
like it's one of the first, and it was not just beautiful, but it was functional. It's how you would tell the army how to move. They knew from trumpet calls what to do.
Signal calls.
There was this really dope band out of Eugene, I think, and they were all ancient instruments. I think it was just like drum and didgeridoo and harmonica, I think.
Oh, Ruins of Ooh-Ah.
Ruins of Ooh-Ah.
That's like, my boy Tyler Spence.
Yeah, those
Tyler, didgeridoo god. He's the homie. He lives in Newport. Justice on harmonica. He's down in Cali.
Okay.
And then Adam, the greatest hi-hat drummer I've ever seen. Adam.
I'm
so sorry, Adam. I'm missing your last name right now. Bushy. Adam Bushy.
But I think of them every time I think about the ancientness of instruments.
Yeah.
Because trumpet came from the conch shell.
Yeah.
Like, it was no training as mankind. They picked it up. It's like blowing in, like blowing into a reed. It's instinctive.
Yeah.
And I really like. Oh, and that's another thing in playing the Christian music. Like, so much of the Bible talks about the trumpet heralding the new times. And so the trumpet is a subject in Christian music a lot, but you don't hear it a lot.
Yeah.
And what's happening with this new record is I've finally, I haven't really done this with a Frankie Hernandez band record yet, where the trumpet is the defining thing about it.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's lots of trumpet on this?
There's no song without it.
Good. The trumpet lights the room up.
Yeah, it's really, it's one of the things, I forget how cool it is until I hear other people play.
It's Emily plays a little baby trumpet.
I saw that. That was so cute.
Every day she's like practicing.
Brass is unforgiving if you don't play.
When she busts it out at shows, it's like game over. They're like, what?
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see it.
It's exciting. She probably doesn't. I mean, yeah. When we get to play more shows together,
cool.
You'll see it.
All
You have any more questions there, Trev?
Next week.
Oh yeah, next week we're playing here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Sorry, I've been in a whirlwind of my own mind. In the garden of my mind. Do we have
Mr. Rogers?
Do we? Yeah. We got more questions?
We're good right now.
Okay. Yeah. The impact that it is magical, and anytime a band's playing and they have a horn line, it's like it's major. It's you're like, oh, they're legit. Mm-hmm. Like that's.
I do love that about the horn.
Mystical.
It seems to give musical credibility to an act.
Yeah. Do you play with the mute very much?
Not a ton.
I noticed that.
I should. And people always say, dude, you should play with the mute. And I'm like, well, I worked really hard to make this classical tone.
You got like a banshee thing going on with it. You know that X-Men?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
it's
yeah.
like sonic vocal power.
Oh, yeah.
You know banshee? It's like doing it with a trumpet. It's awesome. So, the new album is got trumpet. Mm-hmm. It's a Christian faith album.
It's a faith record, yeah.
A faith record. You've got a Kickstarter going on for it. You on the show on Friday. Are we going to hear these? Yeah, there's the Kickstarter right there. And feel free at home to shoot this guy some cheddar. He's trying to make his album, build his studio. At the show tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Friday.
Yeah, same
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Are we going to hear some of this music?
I put one on there.
Okay.
Put one in there.
Okay.
And yeah, it's super exciting. Like for me, it wasn't a crazy shift, because we've been doing the organ scene thing. Everything I've done has always been positive vibe.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm having to change and stop singing about drugs and butts. It hasn't been my thing. I've always been commercially minded.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out, well, how can, I want to feel comfortable if grandma shows up at the show or if someone brings the littles. I'm like, okay, well, that's
good.
I mean, it's here, particularly in Oregon, we like to party with our kids. That's why we developed the festival scene that we have. Yeah. So we can go out, and I've always wanted to play music for families.
And you also incorporate jam elements into your tunes because you recognize, well, because that's sort of a Northwest. To me, that's a Northwest thing, is to really be capable to flex and jam a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, it's also part of the thing. As a career band leader, like. Why do you get these animals to keep them in cages? It's like, yes, come play the songs. I'll give you the best songs I offer you to play, and I promise we'll make music, and you'll get a chance, like to give Skylar a chance to be Skylar. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If you got Maddie back there on the drums, why would you not let him just thrash that kid?
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, go ahead, shred, bro.
Yeah.
I'll hold down
like
this
you,
A chord.
you have your time. Trust in your people.
I'll hold down this groove chord right now.
Oh, I got it. Oh, that feels good.
But you can. I mean, it's hard. It's interesting because you came from two of the most, I would say, some of the most music industry places that I know of, besides
New York, Nashville.
Mm-hmm. So it's like Austin. Right now, it's Austin. That's the spot.
Yeah, Austin seems to be the spot.
It is the spot. Like the couple of people I knew were like, "Oh, we're flying to Austin next to do a record." Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, wow!" But
I'm flying to Austin to see my mom.
Yeah. But but Austin, South by Southwest, Austin city limits, then LA industry. You come here, get to do the music you want, get to build the bands you want. It's a different lifestyle here.
It's freedom.
It's free. You felt free here?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
The water, the trees.
Oh yeah. I mean, the quality of life to me, it comes above everything else.
Yeah.
There's nothing to. I mean, if you don't have anything to express, then what's the point of being in a place that makes it harder on you than better?
Yeah.
And this, I mean, this works for me, and I'm grateful to have found it.
I'm grateful you did too. It's great. We need scenes need soldiers,
amen,
warriors, and I've met a few warriors in my time, and you're definitely a warrior. Are you an intergalactic warrior though?
Interdimensional.
Interdimensional. Okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
sometimes absolutely. Intergalactic.
Oh yeah.
Okay. It's for the kiddos.
Yeah.
Well, you can speak in code. You know the code.
Yeah, you can only get there if you surrender.
Yeah.
And some of the greater things beyond us require surrender.
Do you ever feel stressed out with your music?
Yeah. Well, I think the nature of it for us is to always put the pressure on, because pressure is pretty much the only thing that makes diamonds.
It's true.
And our industry shifts all the time, and it's the people that are willing to be flexible and adaptable that will thrive.
Like you said, this is the last album you're going to drop. Now it's just going to be singles.
Yeah, until I get to the point where dropping an album makes sense.
It doesn't make sense.
If you have the network, like okay, so I've been writing these songs for about a year, and I have enough to do 2 albums worth. But I said, you know what, I'm actually going to do either singles or small releases, so that the algorithm is in my favor, so that I'm always having content to post. Like I don't know what to post to stay current and keep my algorithm up. Here's my food, here's my kids,
yeah,
here's my dog,
yeah,
oh, here's my music. You want to, but when there's something to actually post about, it's like, okay, well, here's us in the studio, here's me with my new friend Marv over, deep dive at the Hive.
Yeah.
Like
content.
That stuff is content. It's relevant. And then, do you know who won the 2021 Grammy for Best Christian Album?
Oh, I don't know.
Kanye West.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so
the Baby won Best Hip Hop Album.
Yeah.
And I listened to it and I was like, this sounds like every other song I've heard. Why this specific song?
I wish I could figure out the formula, I'd tell you.
Well,
and then so on that, he could drop an album just out of nowhere. Eminem last year, 2 years ago, just no announcement, no nothing. It's like, dude, you see this new Eminem record?
Yeah. Surprise.
Justin Bieber just did this on Easter Sunday, dropped a gospel album, little gospel EP, I think like 6 songs.
There's a lot of faith albums coming out.
Yeah. Well, I think that
psychologically it seems like it has a lot to do with
there's I think we're
times,
in a spiritual renaissance.
We are.
Because we, you look at a country like England that's now considered to be post-Christian. Just because it's not Christian doesn't mean that people aren't like hungry for spirituality, like
faith, believing in something.
Sure, it's
feeling like something's right here, taking care of the shit.
Yeah.
In case something goes wrong, having like, oh, I got this thing watching over me that will keep carrying me through. No matter what.
Well, it's their invitation.
It's not my choice. This isn't what's happening right now is not my choice. Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Sure.
So I have sort of like a faith in that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Philippians, Philippians.
You got it down.
I went to church.
Yeah.
The music became my faith.
Yeah.
Help me, guide me, through many things and many ordeals, and it's led me to here, which hasn't been bad, and crazy coincidences happening that led me to this moment, So I believe, I really am I want to hear these songs, because like to me, if I was doing this podcast and you were like, all right, so play me the songs you'd never play live, or just a few songs like that, like that don't fit in with that groove, like booty moving, you know, like get up, positive vibe.
Yeah.
That's when it's almost like the best,
Yeah. Well, that's, I think that was actually my approach to this record, is like, I don't want the two things to be separate. Like, okay. I want to be able to talk about God and intimacy with your spiritual practice in a way that you still can shake your booty. You still can go and put it on and clean your house to it.
Yeah.
Because it not all spirituality is in just this humble, reverent place. Like, some people don't feel safe enough or comfortable enough to go to that spot. And there needs to be more of an invitation. It's like, hey man, I'm so far from perfect.
Yeah.
And I'm still loved. No matter who I am or what I've done, I'll be taken and lifted and placed at the very top. Mm-hmm. And all of my good behavior, all of my kindness will come from a place of generosity and choice, not because I've started at the bottom and I need to earn my way into being good. It's like, no, I was born good. Like the Spirit of God is in me at all times. And all I have to do is be in relationship with it and keep answering the call to an invitation into that dance, of like, well, I don't know what's going to happen. I had my own experiences that led me to here, but I partnered and I did the dance and I got here and here we are.
You're writing a legend, Frankie. You're writing your story, man. You got a good story so far.
Oh, well.
It ain't even over yet.
Oh, thanks for asking some questions.
You've got, it's a story. It's a thing, like your whole story's a vibe.
The story is the authority.
Growing up in Austin like that, seeing all this music come in, going to LA, learning the industry, then coming to Southern Oregon, right? And then influencing the reggae scene here.
Yeah.
And becoming like one of the hardest working guys here.
Oh man,
and then
I love it here.
Finding your voice with this faith even more and stronger through a worldwide tragedy and like shutdown and lockdown and all these things. And it's like, it's really a great story. And the kids will, it seems like what you experience with the fires, like the way you got solidarity with your family through that. That's really special. And you've always been out there working, and nothing but respect to you.
Thank you, man.
It's really cool to have you here. And I appreciate your patience with our process, but this is how we do it.
This is an amazing thing that's happening here.
It's good.
All right.
This is good. We're trying to shine light on people that like you that deserve it. So we're honored to have you here, and we'd be even more honored. And I would be remiss to not ask you to step into our Joe Dinkowitz corner side stage,
corner,
and play us some songs.
Can't put baby in the corner. Now?
Is that time to move? All right, let's get it. All right, so what we're gonna do is, Joe has set up a acoustic vocal setup in the corner. He's got, what microphones are you using there, Joe?
It's the Audix A131 up top, and then two of the Audix EVX.
So big shout out to Audix, Oregon made. We like to support Oregon. Yeah, and cordial cables, virgin copper, just glistening in the sunshine of Southern Oregon. And now Frankie has stepped into the live recording area. I have not moved or done anything different. How do you feel? Do you want some water or anything? You ready to just cut it loose? You good?
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. What's our first song? Tell us a little about the first song.
The first song is going to be from the record. The record's called Shouting in the Wilderness. And this one's called Let It Break You Open. And it's just about letting these things that come in and are seemingly hard be an opportunity to jump into that relationship, that intimacy with God. So.
It's a world full of doubt and disbelief. You can live like a king as a thief. There's idols where the temples used to be, and the light can be impossible to see. Through the mask to wear to make it through like a cuss word we say, not a call to stay holy. It's okay to have a heart hungry for God. It's okay to be broken. It's a blessing to heal. It's a blessing to feel. It takes courage to keep on hoping. There's a God-shaped hole in every single soul. And when the world does its best to break you down, just let him break you open. Let him break you open. I never thought I'd have to fight for my soul, and that the war would be the road to make me whole. It seems easier to smile and play the role of someone who pretends not to know that it's okay to have a heart hungry for God. It's okay to be broken. It's a blessing to heal. It's a blessing to feel. It takes courage to keep on hoping. There's a God-shaped hole in every single soul. And when the world does its best to break you down, just let him break you open. Let him break you open. Spirit, come in the hour of our weakness. Help us pray the words that we forget to say. Search our hearts and call us to your purpose. Good is where our hearts so long to stay. Spirit, come in the hour of our weakness. Help us pray the words that we forget to say. Search our hearts and call us to your purpose. Good is where our hearts so long to stay. It's okay to have a heart hungry for God. It's okay to be broken. It's a blessing to heal. It's a blessing to feel. It takes courage to keep on hoping. There's a God-shaped hole in every single soul. And when the world does its best to break you down, just let him break you open. Let him break you open. Let him break you open. Let him break you open.
Yeah. You went after it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna get it right now. Let's go get it.
That was so fun.
Good job, man. That was awesome. So that's the faith. Are all three of these gonna be?
Well,
what are you thinking?
They're all going to be influenced. That one's
Okay.
straight from, like, it's a faith-based record.
Yeah. That's from the new record.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is called I'm Your Guy, and it's going to be, it'll probably be the first single I do in August, September type area.
Okay.
And it's actually from coming out of a breakup. You know, I started it 3 years before I finished it.
And it's a legacy song.
Yeah,
I like
and
those.
It's so fun. It has and it's cool. And it has some spiritual language in it, but it's just a song about liking a girl and then not.
I can relate to. I'm sure every man can relate to that, sir.
I need your loving. You break me open. Nothing means nothing without you, without you, without you. I would never give you up, I would only just give in. Whatever your demand is, oh, the plan is, baby, you can count me in. I'm your genie, magical and steamy, grant your wishes, I can make you fly. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. my true love. You know that you're my true love. When I wake up, baby, you're what I was dreaming of. You got the vision and you got the style. You got the booty and you got the smile. All that I could ask for, front or the back door. No matter what you serve me, I need more of that hustle. Lady of God, you ain't easy, nah, nah, nah. Making me crazy, make me wait. Feels like heaven, it feels like fate. You don't wanna be kept, well that's just fine. Open up please, give me some of your sunshine. Your sunshine. I would never give you up, I would only just give in. Whatever your demand is, oh the plan is, baby you can count me in. I'm your genie, magical and steamy. Grant your wishes, I can make you fly. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. I used to feel like your papi chulo, but you make me feel like a pain in the culo. All that I give in love. I give in grace like God up above. I ain't no saint like Jesus, but the Holy Spirit sees us. Meet our glasses, raising our kids, raising our hearts, making a bid for a future. We nurture, living out loud, not a murmur. The dark before the dawn only worsens. But when the sun comes through, I'm telling you, I'm your person, your person, your person. I would never give you up, I would only just give in. Whatever your demand is, oh the plan is, baby you can count me in. I'm your genie, magical and steamy. Grant your wishes, I can make you fly. I'm your guy. I'm your guy. I need your loving. You break me open. Nothing, nothing means nothing without you, without you, without you. I need your loving. You break me open. Nothing, nothing means nothing without you, 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 without you. I would never give you up, I would only just give in. Whatever your demand is, oh the plan is, baby you can count me in. I'm your genie, magical and steamy. Grant your wishes, I can make you fly. I'm your guy.
Man, that was awesome. I was like, oh, he's rapping.
That was fun.
Yeah, cute. Yeah,
That's such a cool
spitting fire, dude. It's a great song.
Oh, thank you. I always get nervous. I'm like, this kind of rappy, and
No, it's great.
like Marv's a real rapper.
No. You're a rhythmic American poet too.
Oh, thank you, brother.
That's all I am, is a rhythmic American poet, and so are you.
I love it.
Rap.
I love it.
But you're spitting. I can't spit like that. You just spit. You're like rapping and singing and playing. I can't even play an instrument and rap at the same time, dude.
Well, you're playing an instrument now.
I was clapping.
Yeah. Well, no, you know you.
Oh, this is just buttons, man. It's like a little video game. That's not a video game. That's awesome. So that song, is that what? How do I buy that? So if I'm a fan, how do I buy that song?
That will be available probably in October.
So that song is that also on the new album?
No, not when.
That's just special single droppers.
Yeah, that's gonna be like I said, starting in the fall. It's gonna be single season until I feel like like I've built up enough. And when you drop a record, you want people to listen to it, you know. And I just I don't know. I guess people will start coming out again, right?
They have to.
Will start to.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable.
It's inevitable. And there will be a massive wave of Renaissance releases of all faiths, of all arts. Everybody's going to drop their shit this spring, summer. Yeah. It's like, there's.
Well, I mean, it's another part of the byproduct. I mean, what can we do right now but write and record, right?
That's it. Like, hey, go write your great music. Okay. You know, there's 5 deep holds on every venue in LA right now. Every date, every venue has 5 deep holds on every, because everybody's planning on this being, everybody's made music. They're all releasing it.
Yeah.
So right now is like, this is it right here. This is the Renaissance era. This is the modern day Renaissance era. We're going to have like, you know, cracks of light through the surface. That's what Renaissance means, right?
Right.
And you're
that is what it means.
yeah, and you're shedding the light. You're part of that crack of light. Or maybe I'm wrong.
It's hard to take in.
Maybe I'm totally off base here, but that was fire.
Thank you.
I love it. I it's cool to hear you. I've never heard you acoustically either. You got a great voice, man.
No, thank you. I love what I get to do.
Big range, big vocal range, great. Power, like you sing almost as loud as your trumpet if you want to. Joe, am I wrong?
I'm notoriously loud.
That's okay. You're living loud.
Off stage, I sleep loud.
You're living loud, man. Keep living loud. What do you got for us?
So
What's next?
This one's called You're Amazing.
Okay.
And it's just on the subject of, you know, being someone who's been single for spells here. Talk to a lot of women around here. There seems to be, you know, there's a lot of men that need a lot of support. You know, and I think the tendency is when you hear of a relationship where the man is failing, like you just instinctually want to like kick this dude's ass, you know, and like wake up, dude. But the problem is he's had his ass kicked enough. This is why he's the way he is. So how do we minister to these men? How do we lift them up and say, hey, bro, like we need you, like as a world, you know, as other brothers, like we need you to be strong. We need you to be the one to hold your family together. And
So this is a male empowerment song?
somewhat. Yeah,
That's awesome,
I
man.
would hope so.
That's awesome.
It'd be a way to. I just imagine a world where we could not be in competition with each other and just be like, hey, come on, dude,
I like it.
let's do it.
I like that. I like that concept. You're
and
amazing.
It starts out, you know, talking. I mean, women get told all the time, "Well, you're amazing." Like
It's true.
and they should. They are. You know.
Nothing wrong with that.
But the other half of it is we have the opportunity to be amazing as well.
We could be better men.
We could be better men.
Let's go.
All of us. Don't always get to play this in a bar or a winery or on a big stage. Thanks. I don't wanna hear about how your man don't treat you right, how he drinks too much at night, how you always end up fighting. I don't wanna hear about how your children get ignored, you break your back doing all the chores, and every night you end up crying. I know I'm just a stranger, you've put your confidence in me. Let me tell you what I see, there's still a sparkle in your eye. You wear a smile to get you by. I see what your soul is craving. If my words could lift you up, if my prayers could be enough, I'd hand you happiness and grace and let you know that you're amazing. Let you know that you're amazing. I've heard your story too many times before. I know that you deserve much more, and that you're surely losing patience. 'Cause in this story, there's a drunk and jealous man burning every bridge he can until he's finally on his last chance. There's many other strangers with the same story as you. This is what looks good on you. There's still a sparkle in your eye. You wear a smile to get you by. I see what your soul is craving. If my words could lift you up, if my prayers could be enough, I'd hand you happiness and grace and let you know that you're amazing. Let you know that you're amazing. Hey bro, don't you know you're gonna lose that girl that you love so?
I hope it ain't too late to say and do the things you need to. I lost a lady just like yours, 'cause I gave in to the noise of my past, my pain, my dark, my shame. And I learned too late that what I needed was God's light, so that my heart could be made right. You can be the reason for your family's turn of fate, 'cause there's still a sparkle in her eye. She wears a smile to get you by. I seen what your soul is craving. If my words could lift you up, if my prayers could be enough, I'd hand you happiness and grace, and you could be amazing. You both could be amazing. You could be amazing, 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 amazing. Come on, bro. You could be amazing.
There's hundreds of people cheering right now. They just did. Sorry, we got to get headphones for them so they can hear all the stupid jokes I say. Wait, that's it?
Good.
I mean, are we good? That's a teaser. Yeah, we don't want to give them too much.
Yeah, you come back tomorrow.
Just a little taste. See what it tastes like. Yes, Frankie Hernandez. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live at the Hive. You get to see this man run things with his full band.
Yep.
You will have Skylar Schoolio.
Skylar Schoolio will be there.
Who's going to be in the band?
Skylar, Chad Sweely,
Chad
who has
Sweely.
been from, he was an FHB OG.
Okay. Sounds like a
15
weed
year-
strain.
Oh, FHB OG.
That really does.
And well, we talked about, I've worked at some farms, and we talked about doing
This is the way.
Frankie Hernandez. And I'm
Okay.
like, all right.
The Frankie Sour headbands. At least you're not the GMOs.
Yeah.
Frankie Hernandez
No,
and
we
the
don't.
GM knows.
The GM
GMOs,
knows.
the pirate sweats. Frankie just smelling like halitosis.
Oh my goodness,
No.
that'd be so awful.
Horrible. So
And then
Skylar-
Max Malcolm on the drums.
Max Malcolm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Max has been like musical partners with Nick Kirby for a long time.
Nick Kirby.
So for a while
Another-
they were both in the band.
Okay.
And Nick is just, his business has gotten so busy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you clean up post fires
Oh man, he's
and you're like, I have an excavator. What's up?
I have an excavator. You need something flat?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, we just lost 3,000 homes in the area. Can you please?
Yeah.
What is it? How many homes? 2,000?
I think it's 3,500 structures.
3,500 structures burned in those fires. And I'm hoping, I'm praying. I'm going to say that because you're here. I'm praying that the fires give us a break this year.
I'm praying the same thing. Lord,
I really-
smile on us and
We could use it.
give us a summer of peace and
Yeah.
help us figure out what to do with our forests as good and responsible, faithful stewards.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's an asset if it's already sick?
Yeah.
That's an Emily Turner line.
That's a good one.
That's one of
That's
her
a
lines.
talented lady.
What's an asset if it's already sick?
Boom.
I can go far with what I've got to give, but I'd rather show trees to my kids.
Mm.
This is a G. But yeah, we're praying for no fires. We're praying for a healthy summer, a return to music. We're getting fired up. We're warming up the machines, oiling the machines tomorrow
Connection
night.
to one another.
Yeah,
Man.
tomorrow night you get to
That's gonna
fully,
be so awesome.
fully oil that machine tomorrow night. Trust me, it'll feel like a live show because that's all it's been like since we started doing these things.
That's so cool.
It's really cool. So we're excited about this. How are we still streaming to the interwebs live? Okay, so yeah, there's the signage. Just so you know, if you didn't, Frankie Hernandez Band, April 16th, tomorrow, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tune into Live at the Hive. Subscribe to it. Like us, share it, share everything. If you like this podcast, share it. All we're doing is bringing through amazing people just like you and trying to share what you all do. And that's what it's really all about. And just being true to the art. And none of this would happen without Trevor Yerush.
Thanks, Trevor.
Yeah, thanks, Trev.
Trevor and Joe.
Love you guys. Love you guys a lot.
And Joe as well. It's
Yeah.
it's a great team to be a part of, and we're happy to have you in here, man.
It's man, you're a peer. You're doing the same thing. It's
I'm just trying to hold my
thanks for
space.
for lifting us up, man. You're certainly a light here. I appreciate it.
What is there anything you want to say to your people who tuned in today and family, friends? Say hi to mom. Or
Thank you for spending the time here with us. Thank you for I don't know who's there, but if you've been part of my support team, thank you so much for every time you showed up at a show, every time you've listened to a live stream or liked or commented on something. Like what we do means nothing without you guys. So thank you for being a part of our world and making us feel like what we do matters. So thank you so much.
Yeah, there you have it. So thanks for tuning in.
We're going to play out with his Kickstarter video.
Awesome. We're going to play your Kickstarter video, add a little juice to this. You know, like, just like
20,000.
Yeah, just make it, just let people know
Who gave me an iPhone?
What you're up to, man. Hey, you got to convince Skylar to get a smartphone. Let's not go there, dude.
Yeah,
Let's not go there. That's Skylar and his smartphone.
That's Kyler and technology.
Love that, dude, man.
Yeah, all my heart, man.
All right, so this is your Kickstarter video. Thanks for tuning in. Check out this Kickstarter video. Boom. And we'll see you next time. Peace, y'all.
I'm raising $20,000. Raising $20,000. Hi, I'm Frankie Hernandez. Welcome to my Kickstarter campaign. I'm the lead singer and founder of a project called That Guy at My Church. We're releasing our very first album, and we'd like to invite you into partnership with us. It's called Shouting in the Wilderness. It's not going to be just one CD. It's one idea. It's one idea in 3 parts. There's Shouting in the Wilderness, the D-Mix, and the D-Mix Mon. First off, Shouting in the Wilderness. It's what you'd expect, like a really high-energy, impactful, rejoicing celebration of a worship album. I'm producing it with my friend Brett Levick. Brett and I go way back. We've been recording music together 13 years. His songs have been featured in a lot of television shows like Lucifer, Desperate Housewives, Sons of Anarchy. But most importantly, we have a great working relationship. He inspires incredible creativity in me, and we just work together well. And then there's going to be Shouting in the Wilderness, the D-Mix, like I said, devoid of all the extra bells and whistles, things you would expect in like a remix, but it's a D-Mix. Just acoustic guitars, voices. The way you'd hear the song in a sanctuary. There's the D-Mix Mon, which is the acoustic island versions of these songs. But this entire project just isn't about the CDs, the songs, the variations. It's about expressing what I've learned in my walk as a spiritual being, as a follower of Jesus. I let myself surrender to the love that was available to me, the wisdom that was available to me. I'm finally at the point where I'm ready to share. I'm ready to invite people into my vision. I've invited Brett to help produce the album with me. I've invited people to do the art for me, to take pictures of me, which I'm not crazy comfortable with. We are going to have videos, lyric videos. We're going to have all kinds of versions of these songs. We're doing this together. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to a tiny bit of my vision. Please read this story. Like I said, this is the Kickstarter campaign. Everything you need to know is here. I'm raising $20,000 so that I can make all these albums and build a home studio on top of everything else, because in addition to what you contribute, I have a very generous contributor that's going to donate dollar for dollar what you contribute. And I'm just going to keep churning out these songs. That Guy at My Church, Frankie Hernandez Band songs. This isn't just for recordings. This is a life overhaul. And thank you for being my partner. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. It's not just going to be one CD. No one buys CDs, but we'll make some in case you want some. And the D-Mix Mon. I know. I'm a dork. Yeah, little. It's the opposite of a remix. I'm raising $20,000. Raising $20,000. God bless you. Thank you.